are today at our compost facility here in Andover, New Jersey. We primarily deal in organics recycling, primarily the equine industry. We take in large volumes of stall waste. We also are accepted to take pre-consumer food waste, fruit, vegetable, bread, and floral waste from local grocery stores. We also take in leaves from throughout the county, and our focus here is primarily a high-quality finished product, unified compost. We also make topsoil and different mineral blends for various growers and landscapers. As you can see in the background, we have two windrows here that are just getting started. And if you look further in the background, you see our windrows are actually covered with a green cover. And what that cover does for us is it helps to alleviate a problem that's created on the farms from that storm water running off through your stall waste. Manure management on a farm is one of the most integral parts of an equine business. By utilizing those covers, we eliminate those problems rather than just transferring them from your farm to ours. The farms that we deal with, manure management seems to be low on the priority list. And most people, I think it's lack of education. They don't understand the ramifications of leaving these manure piles laying out with the storm water leaching through it. And that leachate ends up in a stream or a brook somewhere along the lines and creates a super fertilizer, which creates algae blooms, which snuffs out the oxygen in the water and kills off all the fish. And so most people, their feeling or understanding is, well, it's natural, it's laying out in the woods, and it'll eventually disappear. And there is some truth to that. It is organic, it will break down and become part of the earth once again. The problem is it's in such a large quantity that you're got high concentrations of those phosphorus levels and nitrogen within the manure, which nature can't absorb on its own in high concentration like that. So what we try to do is educate people a little bit, get them to understand what the ramifications are of having these large stockpiles of manure around that the rainwater is going to wash into, and get them to store it a little bit more appropriately, and get them on a continual plan where they're either having us remove the material on a basis, leave the container. A lot of people don't realize that it is a good source of fertilizer if it's processed properly. And that seems to be the biggest thing, is getting people to understand that this is now an integral part of their farm business and that it needs to be handled as such, but that it's not necessarily just a nuisance, that there is some potential for a value-added product to their farm site. The only complaint that I ever hear is that it costs money. And it's not that our price is too high, it's the fact that they have to pay money to manage their manure. And it's going to cost them money to do it, whether they handle it themselves on the farm or they pay a service like myself to handle it. So it's more a problem of people getting into the habit of making manure management part of their overall farm plan. Cost-wise, I actually took the time to break it down and compared my container service to, say, somebody had their own spreader. By the time you pay the labor to have one of your laborers muck the stalls, load the spreader, take the spreader out to the field, spread the stall waste, come back, incorporate the stall waste into the soil, they've actually spent more per yard on the stall waste than if they just took my container service, dumped it in the container, and had me haul it away. That's the biggest challenge right now, is to get people to realize what the environmental ramifications are for not managing that resource properly, and to get them to really make that as part of their everyday plan. We have several things that we've been working on ourselves as far as manure removal, helping them set up their farms a little better where it's more efficient, so they're not spending so much time cleaning stalls. So these different things will help people to organize and make their manure management more feasible and actually potentially make them money as opposed to cost them money. We're just at the beginning phases of composting and manure management here in New Jersey. A lot of other states have been doing it for a long time, and we're kind of jumping on the bandwagon very late in the process. A lot of states, Vermont, Massachusetts, California, Pennsylvania, have excellent manure management programs in place. It's become just a normal part of running an agribusiness, especially an equine business. So right now we're at the very beginning. Both for ag choice as a business and for manure management as part of an overall farm practice.